Hey Henry, since the league officially owns the Charlotte Hornets, the New Orleans Hornets, how can they, like, let's say they don't have a new owner by the time the trade deadline comes, and Paul wants to be traded to the Knicks, and that's the only time to do it. Is there any feasible way they can get away with saying we are trading him to New York for Chauncey Billups, Landry Fields, and Tony Douglas's suitcase, without having a huge backlash of you're fixing the league, you're trying to set up the Knicks to be good again to help your numbers and your ratings?
I mean, they deal with those backlashes all the time, right? Like, people accuse them of that every day anyway, so if they have to do that, I guess they can, they've got that thick skin already. But, I mean, that would be an argument for hustling together a new buyer, right? Just to, like, have somebody else hold the bag for that day.
I nominate Joe Garrity.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Well, yeah, I guess that's about the time that we have now. Is there, I guess before we go, you said that this will benefit smart GMs and smart teams that, get the most out of their dollar already. The Hornets were sort of doing that, They hired a good GM. They'd made some smart moves. They had a good young coach. They had a team that won for its payroll, did a decent job. I guess my question is there any amount of legislation that can really help small market teams other than fixing the draft for them?
Well, I mean, I guess that basically, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about, like, being pretty competitive, then everybody can do something like what Houston does, right? Where they make these trades where they get a little advantage, a little cap room, a little bit better scouting, and they're in the playoffs every year despite having had some bad injuries. If it's about contending, then you simply have to get a superstar, and there aren't enough to go around. And they are literally almost randomly distributed already, right? They have to put the ping pong balls in the thing, and they just, the whirs around, and the superstars fall where they may, right? So, like, it's a pretty fair system. Like, the only downside is players have human rights, and they get to go away from some city if they don't like that city. So I think, I don't know if we want to fix that. I don't know if we want to, like, staple Chris Paul to New Orleans for the rest of his life, because it's convenient for us in terms of competitive balance. But there is a new thing this year, though, which is we're talking about how the minimum teams can spend is going significantly up over the life of this deal. That is going to create a new kind of bad contract, which is just we had to spend the money free agent signing, where some of those guys will be terrible, right? These will be you're going to pick from a small level, and you're going to pay them some amount you have to pay them to get up there. So that's going to be, you better know what you're doing. You better have your plan. If you're a cheap team, you better have your eyes on who you want to spend money on. Otherwise, you're going to spend some ridiculous money. The other thing is that, what the heck am I talking about here? Amnesty, right? So people are making a huge deal about amnesties because for us fans, it seems like a get out of jail free card for every bad contract your team's ever had. But I think, remember, there won't be very many used. It's expensive to owners. This whole thing is about making things cheap to owners. There won't be very many used. So it looks like the good GMs like Sam Presti and Daryl Morey kind of got left in the cold by the amnesty thing. But the fact of the matter is, very few teams will use them. What's going on there, Zach?
I don't know what's happening here.
We're a little situation right now. Hold on.
Dog. Well, Zach's dog makes an appearance on camera, and with that, we have to say goodbye. So go back to the skyscraper basement or whatever it is that you're in right now. Where are you, by the way? A staircase?
No, my brother-in-law works in this office in New York City. I had to be in New York for other stuff today, and he let me take over that conference room for a few hours, which is nice of him. So I'm in some office space in the I don't even know where we are.
All right, well, expert grammar corrector, which is, I'm sure, something else you can make fun of me for, and all-around good guy, Henry Abbott. I'll see you later, man.